Welcome to the Reseller Island podcast. My name is Jake, and I'm here with my two co-hosts. We'll start with the one below me,
What's up, guys? Shane here, Soda City Flips. Good to see everybody.
and depending on how you're looking at the screen, to the side of me.
Hey guys, Keith, Vintage Sport Flips. How's it going?
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for being here today, guys. We are a reselling podcast, and we just want to talk about all things reselling going on throughout our week and everything going on in our personal lives. Hopefully, we can be somewhat background music for you guys while you're sourcing or listing or shipping your items. Feel like you guys are part of a community because of how lonely reselling can be. So, how'd you guys' week go?
Pretty good. I mean, reselling's been a little slow. My eBay's a little slower. I'm having sales, but they're like not high dollar sales. But at least there's something happening over there, which is nice. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's pretty good. Had a pretty good weekend outside of the reselling world.
Nice.
But in the reselling world, done pretty well so far. Selling some stuff that I didn't expect to move so quickly. So that was
Yeah.
cool.
No, I mean, both of us, you and I, Shane, are both making some money on good old Keith here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I told Keith if he comes across any more of the stuff I've been buying from him, let me know.
Absolutely. I probably have a lot more of it. But yeah, I get a text from Shane every other day. I sold this an hour after I listed it for this much.
Yeah,
That's
that's
all right.
awesome.
That's a pretty
Yeah,
good district, though. I
the
can
other
move that
day,
stuff quick. Yeah.
the other day, I just got a package from Keith that had like kind of a pirate. I forgot the name of it. Maybe I can actually pull it up on my screen here. Shane, you tell your story about Keith's stuff.
Okay. Well, first off, Keith, today I've listed nothing but stuff I bought from you. So far,
Oh,
after I did a first class treasure show last night, so I've gone ahead and shipped that stuff out with my eBay orders today. Um, but after that, once I got back from the post office, I just started listing buttons and patches and things that I got from you. So I think I got 15 listed today. But yeah, I think the sale of the week for me was that Curtis. What's the company? Curtis Aeroplane and Motor Corporation.
yeah.
The little tiny what was it called? The tiny big book or something. I forget what it was called exactly, but
Yeah, I forget the title.
I got it from you on First Class Treasure for $2, man, and I listed it. Couldn't find anything like it in the internet world, like nowhere. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna put my own price of 150. Just got a sale. Uh for
Oh,
150, and in less than a week it sold for 135 on a best offer, and I got it for $2 from you. So,
There you go.
and I mean, guys, it's a book that's like this big. It's like 3
Yeah.
inches most. Tiny little book. $135.
well,
Yeah.
similar situation here. So this is a Pirate Adventures 1950s novelty candy box. Henry Morgan. I believe this actually was from a bread um, company. So I
Yeah.
bought this from Keith off First Class Treasures. I think I got it for $4. And there were about, I don't know, 7 of these listed, only 2 of this exact same variation. And then there was 1 sold of this variation from like 2 months ago. And then there were the other 2 of this that were listed were for like $25 and $30 plus $5 in shipping. So I just went ahead and put this as 1987 to get underneath that $20 mark so I could send this in a plain white envelope. And so I listed it at 1987 plus 99 cents in shipping, and it sold in under 4 or 5 hours of listing it. So that was pretty
There
dope.
we
Nice.
go. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm not a bad reseller, everyone. I've been giving good deals out over on District on First Class Treasures and dibbed it, but mainly because I have so much of this stuff that, like I've Shane's piece, I even said during the stream, like I can't find this anywhere. I worth pointed it, could not find it, which is a good sign. Usually a good sign that there's high value there. But I still started at $2, whatever it brought, and Shane got a good deal on it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah. So I had made money on this collection a long time ago. So whatever I sell now just free up some space, and happy to give out the deals, and you guys can flip it on your end and
Yeah.
Well,
go from
I
there.
love it because it seems like a lot of the stuff that I buy from Keith, nobody else is interested in. And that's what I
Yeah.
love about being over there, like First Class Treasures, specifically. is where I've been buying from Keith when it comes to this vintage ephemera stuff. And Jake and I both like we're interested in different types of things from each other, but
Mhm.
no one seems to really want the stuff we're both interested in when you're selling it. So we get it really
Yeah.
good prices on it. And like that Charles Lindbergh piece, I've got that thing listed for $400. There's nothing, I can't find anything on the company that made it. Like you
Yeah.
Google talent aid groove drawings, nothing comes up. And
Yeah.
that's the company that made the thing way back in the day. So like it's like it never existed. So
Yeah.
I'm very confident that I have the only one for sale in the world. So I listed it high. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. Get the right person to come along. Yeah, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's the beauty over there. I mean, for me, I sort of wish I didn't have so much inventory because I'd love to be sourcing over there. I mean, it's like there's deals to be had on
Yeah.
first class treasurers or district across the board, right? Because it's a new
Yeah.
marketplace. I'm sure that'll change. Or I mean, there'll be more competition there from a buying standpoint, but um, definitely good deals for now.
Yeah,
But I
for
mean,
sure.
I do the same thing on Whatnot all the time too. You know, like you can
Yeah,
just scroll through the storage unit section of Whatnot, and there'll be people with like 7 people in their streams, even people with like 80 and 90 people in their streams. A lot of those people are just hanging out, I guess. Maybe they're bot accounts. I don't know. But the other day on Whatnot, I bought it was a whole dollar silver dollar. They sell for like $87. I already sold mine for 89.87 plus shipping on eBay. I got it on Whatnot for $3. One other person bid $1. No, I bid $1, then they bid two, then I bid three, and then it was done. I'm like, wow, I just got a huge,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome.
it's awesome. And there was
yeah,
like 85 people in that room. It was great.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
So
killer.
Oh
That
well,
that
that's
just goes to show that people we all like different things and we're all interested in selling different things. So
yeah,
like you said, there may be 80 people in there, but you might be the only coin person in there, the only
yeah,
buyer that's interested in coins. So
hmm
a lot of the people on Whatnot, especially in those storage unit categories, they're looking for vintage clothing. There's a you see a Slayer T-shirt come up, people start bidding on that. But that $1 silver coin, not everybody there gets excited about that. So
yeah.
you
hmm
can really get some good deals.
I'd say, but back when I used to go to live auctions, and that's how I really got started in reselling. I would go to live auctions like 3 or 4 times a week, and when you're waiting there for a long time for an item to show up, I would get this like heart thumping, like that item's coming up here. It's like your heart's thumping. I don't know if you get that on first class treasures, but because you don't really know it's coming up, but that like
yeah.
adrenaline where that's why there are bidding wars on stuff because you're waiting around for things and then time comes and you're not going to stop, right? So
I
So
think
did
the same feeling comes. It's just much quicker because once, like for instance, that Curtis book, as soon as you said it was aviation related, I knew I wanted it, and
yeah,
mhm.
I'm gonna get this somehow. Thankfully, I didn't have unfortunate for you.
it's all right. It's
Thankfully
all right.
for me, I didn't have any other interested buyers, so I got it really cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so you went to a lot of live auctions. Did COVID mess that up for you in your area, or there's still a lot of those auctions going on?
Yeah, definitely messed it up. I had already slowed down on going to them by that point
Uh-huh.
because I had bought so many big collections. But yeah, a lot of them at that point went all online. There's still a bunch of them out, like more of the rural areas, like Lancaster County, the Amish areas, that there's a lot of live auctions. But back when I was doing it heavy, every Wednesday night, every Thursday morning, every Friday night, I was at a live auction, just sitting there learning. You're imbibing information just from like Wedgwood and stuff I didn't really care about, but you learn about it. And so that's how I have more diverse antique knowledge, just from sitting there for hours and hours waiting for that sports item at the end of the sale. But yeah, I don't do it much anymore, unfortunately. They're fun, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I know they still go on here in Utah, but I haven't really found too many. There's this place called NPS. It's a nice place to save, is what it's called.
ah,
And from
Nice.
what I hear, it used to be like really, really, really good. It was just kind of like a thrift store, but now they've like now they're like a like $1 million company, and they just Like I did a reel on this once. They were trying to sell a bat that sells for $25 shipped on eBay for like $127 in the store.
Oh
Like
man.
holy cow. But so they started out by doing live auctions. But now they have such a huge customer base, and now they have a few locations across Salt Lake that they just put everything up on a shelf and charge super high and people pay it. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I guess people just want that quick satisfaction of buying it and not waiting, even though Amazon is like the next day on a lot of stuff, but
Dude,
it's not in your
Amazon's the
hands.
same day. I've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
getting so many same day things from Amazon. It's wild.
Yeah,
We
that
used
is
to.
nice.
We have an Amazon distribution right down the street from me, maybe
Mm-hmm.
15-20 minute drive, and we used to get same day Amazon all the time, and we never do anymore. We hardly ever get it in 2 days
Huh.
now
Well,
with Prime. Prime, they say 1 or 2 days or whatever.
mm-hmm.
It's been a while since we've gotten something say next day or even 2 days.
Do you think that's
Yeah,
just
I don't
because
know what.
you're out in the woods or what?
I honestly have no idea because we used to get a lot of stuff same day, like you said,
Yeah.
but it was always at least within 2 days. And then here the past few months, I don't know, maybe the stuff we're ordering just isn't available
Yeah.
locally anymore. So it's coming from another plant or distribution center. But
Yeah.
my sister and her husband, my brother-in-law, came over for dinner last weekend, and he and I used to go to live auction, estate sale auctions all the time together. And this was long before I was a reseller. I was just having fun. It was cool, looking for stuff to collect or whatever. But I was telling him the other day, like I've forgotten all about doing that with him. And I was like, dude, do you do the auction still? And he's like, no, I hadn't done one in a while. So I think him and I are gonna get back into doing that. Because that was a lot of fun. Like I've never been to like an auction house per se, but I have done live estate auctions, and those are fun because they'll fill tables up with stuff that nobody wanted, and then they'll auction the entire table off for $1. They'll start it, and you might win the whole table for $3 or $4, and you could fill up a vehicle, on that one $3 or $4 buy, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
going to be a lot of stuff that is not worth a ton of money, but there is some good stuff available, especially for places like First Class Treasures and whatnot, or wherever you want to sell live. But yeah, that I think I'm gonna get into that and try to source specifically for live auction selling that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a good website that my dad uses it constantly still, but I used to use it back in the day. And maybe you already know about it, but auctionzip.com,
Mm-hmm.
auction and ZIP. They'll just put your zip code in, like a distance. It'll tell you like all the auctions coming up on, whether they're the
That
kind you want
that
to
might
or
be the one we used.
yeah, it's a
It's
common
been a
one for
while.
sure.
Yeah. It's just auctionzip.com. You type
Yep.
in your zip code, and I probably pulls from Craigslist and Facebook and these other sites and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never actually used that one. I'll have to look it up.
I'm doing it right now.
But yeah, today it's 73 degrees and sunny, which is
Oh, nice.
awesome. And then tomorrow is going to be 42 and snowing. And same with Saturday. So I'm like, I actually saw one yard sale sign. I went there today. It was just an old man and his cute little wife. They're like, yeah, we're moving to Nevada, so we're just getting rid of everything. And they had some really good fishing reels. Like this
Oh,
bad
nice.
boy. He gave this to me for $3. I think it sells for like 30. But this is the good one. So he wanted $20 for this one, which is understandable because it sells for like 90. It's AccuDepth Plus by, I don't even know how to pronounce this. Is it Daiwa?
Daiwa.
Daiwa?
Yeah.
Daiwa? But yeah, that's like a $90 one. He wanted 20 for it. He ended up giving it to me for $10. He's like,
Nice.
yeah, so it was
nice
good.
deal.
It was a good time. But I'm like, man, I'm so anxious for yard sale season, and when it's amazing the last 2 days and then just completely terrible weather over the weekend, it's awful.
We've got a big church sale this weekend about
Oh, dude.
5 minutes from me, and it's one of those donation sales, so you pay what you want to pay, so you can find some really good deals at places like that. I like to pay up at those because
Yeah.
they're doing, it's a donation kind of thing. So I don't try to take advantage of that. I know a lot of people, it's good for them because they don't have a lot of money or whatever. But
Yeah.
I love those kind of sales, man. Church sales in general, like rummage sales, I always seem to find really good items. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually setting up at a show this weekend. It's the like a vintage clothing show in Philly suburbs. It's called the Philly Vintage Flea, one of the bigger ones, at least in my area. So it's only 1 day show on Sunday. So uh,
Sounds rad.
Is that the one
yeah,
you were looking for the TV for?
it was. Yeah. Well, I was also going to use that at the National, the Sports Collectors Convention.
Okay.
I'll probably still do it for that show. I'm going to play some like old Jordan. I have some old VHS of Jordan like championship games on it's in Chicago, so I'll just have that playing in the back of the booth. Little ambiance for the booth. So
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be fun.
Dude, good old
Yeah,
Chicago.
yeah.
My
Yeah, but
my
these shows,
wife, I think that was my wife's last soccer trip was she went to Chicago.
oh yeah, what was
Uni-
that? A University of Chicago or
yeah, University of Chicago. Their women's team
okay?
sucks.
Oh really?
Their women's soccer. I think because my wife's team, they were they were like one of the not so good teams. You know what I mean? There's like 10 teams, 4 of them are good. They were like the fourth or third team. And then University of Chicago was all the way at the bottom. And yeah, I think they won 4-0 and then just put all the freshmen that never get to play in for the whole second half
Oh, that's nice.
and yeah. But yeah, they were chanting like go back to D2 and stuff. It was funny.
Wow.
I lived in Chicago for about 2 years. I loved it there. But I'm a big White Sox fan, have been since I was a kid. Frank Thomas was my favorite baseball player. So man, I had a blast. The company I work for um, got us every year. Well, I say every year. I was there twice, but rooftop seats at the Cubs White Sox game
Oh cool.
there at Wrigley Field, and of course I went to Comiskey Park every chance I got. I found a lady on Craigslist who had season tickets, and she sold me all the tickets for the game she couldn't go to, which was awesome. Face
Nice.
value. So yeah, I had a blast up there, man.
Funny. I've set up there. I think four nationals, and the nationals in the suburbs. It's not a suburb, but Rosemont, which is on the outskirts of Chicago.
Yep.
But 4 times, been there a week each time. Never been into the city itself. Never went to Wrigley.
No.
Never Comiskey. Never in the downtown at all. So
Yeah.
maybe this year we'll see.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to show you guys something on Poshmark, but I have a software that sends out automatic offers, and they give
Uh,
you a notification every single time you send out an offer, which is annoying.
yeah.
Yep.
But I wanted to show you guys this sale that I had. It was pretty interesting. I guess I'll just have to do it from memory. But I listed a pair of Versace eyeglasses for $25, and then someone offered me $18, and I accepted it, but they failed payment. And then they put their credit card in and canceled their offer, and then offered me $12, and then I declined that. So then they sent me an offer for $10. So then I countered with 18, and then they accepted and bought it for 18.
Golly,
It's a
why
interesting
not just
negotiation.
resend the original offer? You
Yeah, it is
accepted that
fun.
one once.
Man, it's kind of a little fun one. But
Yeah.
Poshmark is awesome. Friday and Sunday. I don't know if they do it every single Friday and Sunday, but most Fridays and Sundays they do the closet clean out. You guys know about that?
Nah, never heard of it.
No.
So most Fridays and Sundays, if you take your items and you discount them 10%, then all of your likers, same thing as watchers on eBay, will get a notification that it's dropped 10%, and Poshmark will give them, I think, like 60% off of shipping as well.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
like I'll average like 1 to 3 sales per day on Poshmark, and then on Fridays I'll usually get like 20, and on Sunday I'll get like even one Sunday I got 87 sales in one day. It was awesome.
Wow.
because people like a lot of I think a lot of people on Poshmark are just trained to wait until Friday and Sunday now because of those cleanouts. But
Interesting.
they only send out you only get a notification if you have liked the item. I wish it would just like push it out on every single item.
Yeah.
But so yeah, people will just like it and they'll hope on Friday or Sunday to get it for 10% off plus discounted shipping. But yeah, that's sweet.
You ever, on that note, on the similar, I'd never heard of that, but on on eBay, I guess if you just look at an item, eBay considers you interested in it, and they'll send you an offer when the seller
Yeah.
sends it out. How many of you have gotten those or ever gotten angry messages back? I didn't even like this item. I didn't put it on my watch list. Why am I getting this offer?
Uh-huh.
I get those relatively often. For
I've
some reason.
never gotten one.
Oh,
But
really?
I did the same thing today. Every time when I'm comping stuff,
Yeah.
Yep.
sometimes very shortly after I'll get a offer sent to me from that guy that I was checking out his stuff. And it
Yeah.
happened today when I was listing, it was either one of the buttons or one of the patches I was comping, and I'd clicked on this guy's listing to sell similar. And because there was a couple that had sold, but there were certain things I liked about this guy's listing more than the ones that sold. So I was like, I'm going to use his. I get mine listed, and literally like 10 minutes later, he sends me an offer. And I'm like, yeah, sorry, dude. I was just stealing all your hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've gotten a few funny messages from that too, where I'll comp someone's item and then or vice versa. Some people are comping my items or just looking at an item and then they'll get an offer for it. And they'll be like, "You Nazi scammer! I did not send I did not want this item. Why do you have my information? Delete everything you know about me right now!" Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what the freak is going on, dude? That's
I
weird.
got somebody trying to scam me right now, but I think I finally shut them down. I sold a Lenovo ThinkPad.
Yeah, that you got from
100%.
Wyatt Sippy, right?
Yeah, yep. So 100% tested this thing. It worked great. The guy sent me an offer. I had it listed for 100. He sent me an offer for 80. We talked back and forth a little bit. I accepted his offer, shipped it out. He received it on the 3rd of March, and he messaged me 2 days ago, and he started with his nonsense about things not working and uh why are how some laptops the keyboard has a backlight in it, so when you touch it they light up and stuff.
Uh-huh.
He's like, why is it green? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. Mine's white. My wife's, or mine's blue. My wife's is white. So I
Uh-huh.
look and I'm like, okay, Lenovo, you can change the colors. You can go into the setting and change the colors of the key. So I screenshot him all this, and he's like, well, half the buttons don't work. And I'm like, well, they worked the other day. I was like, look, dude, just send it back.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I can fix it if you want to just send me a partial refund. And I'm like, dude, I already gave you $20 off the thing when I sold it to you. I'm not
Yeah.
doing partial refunds. Send it back. And he finally stopped messaging me.
I'll
But
figure it out.
it's funny that he waits till it's almost 30 days, right? Because he got it on the 3rd. It's the end of the month now, so he's got like another week
Mm-hmm.
before he can't return it again. So, but I think he was trying to scam me, and he figured out that I wouldn't fall him for it, and I hadn't heard
How much
from
did you
him
sell
in
that one for?
over $80 plus shipping. Yeah.
Did Wyatt ever even give me my plug fees on that? My credit?
He told me.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, he
He
reached
did.
out to me. He's like, "Hey,
Yeah,
I
he
got
said
all
he
these
reached out to you.
electronics." Uh-huh. Yeah, he's like, "I got all these electronics. I'm not sure if you want them." Like, yeah, I mean, I'm interested in them, but the shipping will probably eat into it because it was like those Zebra printers that you
Yep.
talked about on your channel, and then those laptops. I'm like, "Oh yeah." I mean, I know that Shane is in your area, and he'll probably take them. He's like, "Oh yeah." So he reached out
Yeah.
to you. So like,
Yeah, and that was the first time him and I had ever met face to face. Like we've chatted online here and there, but we didn't really know each other. So it was cool to finally meet him and all. But yeah, gave me a killer deal on that stuff, man. But he did tell me that you were the one that reminded him, hey, Shane's in your area. Why don't you reach out to him?
yeah.
So I appreciate that because I made a killing off of him.
Well, just send me 20%. We'll be good. No, I'm just kidding.
He charged me 120 for the box, and the first 2 things that sold made me more than my money back.
Mhm.
And everything I sold out of there was at least $80. So it
Oh
was
yeah,
pretty nice.
Zebra is sweet. Like if you guys can find any Zebra barcode scanners or printers or anything technology that says Zebra on it, it's almost a
Yeah.
guaranteed
I
$80
pick up
plus.
every one I find. I've never found one that didn't work. Unfortunately, the ones he had didn't have two of them didn't have cords, so I couldn't test them. But
Uh-huh.
I put that in the listed. I sold them both 79. Sorry,
Yeah.
69.99 each without a cord, untested. And then the other two had cords with them, but they're European style cords, so you just gotta put get a different cord for it.
Uh-huh.
And
Are they like?
I haven't tried yet, but the guy that he bought them from was Asian. Like the laptops were in Chinese. Whenever you turn them on, everything was in Chinese.
Oh,
So I imagine that's where those European cords came into play, and then whenever he moved over here, this stuff, I guess he upgraded or whatever. But there was tons. You could tell this guy was like a AliExpress or Amazon or so. He was doing something like that. As there was tons of videos on them packing orders and stuff on that laptop.
the Zebra
Awesome.
printers. They like small label printers, or is that like a regular size printer?
They're like, I don't know, maybe 8 inches
Okay,
around. I got two of them. I could send you a picture to what to look for. I
just
got
for
two of
curious,
them
I can
out
look
there.
it up. I was just curious for if I ever stumble
Yeah.
across them.
There
But
it's what the post offices and all use. UPS, they all use Zebra.
mhm. Zebco, very different. A lot of Zebco is close to worthless. But
Okay,
Zebra.
Zebra's
Yeah.
okay.
Man, I remember I saw what I thought was a Zebra label printer from afar at a yard sale in Vegas with Archie, like last year. But then as I got closer, I saw that it said the dreaded Zebco. I'm like, oh shoot. I still looked it up. It was like 80 of them listed, zero sold. So
Oh
yeah,
wow.
uh-huh. That's a pass for sure.
I've come across two zebras and two knockoffs in the wild that I've bought. I think all of them were at yard sales, and I got them all super cheap, like $5 or less. And
Hmm.
Zebra obviously being the better of the ones I found. The other two were knockoffs, but I still got like 30-40 bucks for them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mike Camparelli bought one of them.
Oh, did you run it live or what?
No, it was on my eBay store. I guess he just felt like supporting me or something. He went in and bought that and a Soda City Flips hat.
Dude, he's always feeling like supporting everyone. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's such
awesome.
a good dude.
And
Yeah,
I have an
we'll have to have
embarrassing.
him on.
Yeah, he's awesome. I have an embarrassing story about the international chords or the European chords, but I was in London and Scotland a year and a half ago, and if I travel anywhere, I bring a little Keurig with me. I need coffee first thing in the morning, and I thought I brought all the appropriate like uh, converters and everything, and as I plugged it in, used it for the first time, shorted out the whole floor of the hotel.
Are you
And no
serious?
no
That's wild.
power. Yeah, there was. I actually left the Keurig behind in London because it was like I think I totally fried it. So
That's my wife, dude. Every time we go somewhere, we have a Keurig in the house, and then we have one with our camping gear, and then we
okay,
have one that she takes when we go somewhere like at a hotel if we're going to be staying in a hotel because she doesn't like the little coffee machines that they leave. She doesn't think they clean them and all that stuff, the ones in your room. So she makes me pack up a Keurig every time we
yeah,
go on a
yeah,
trip.
Hmm.
yeah.
So
Same here. I'm in the same boat.
About a year into reselling, I was finding a ton of KitchenAid mixers and stuff. I don't find them as often anymore. But I found this nice big red one, and it was selling for like $300 plus $100 in shipping. Like people were just doing what they had to get it, and this one wasn't working, so I I tore into it and tried to fix it because I've been a lot of times you just open something, shoot aerosol into the circuits and everything, and then put it back together and it starts working. Like any of you guys that are interested in selling electronics, take things apart and then just clean it, and it usually
yeah,
works. Like honestly, like 60 or 70% of the time. Anyway,
Hmm.
that didn't work, so I ripped back into it again, and I would plug it in, and I could see that it was like turning on, but it wasn't spinning like it should. So I didn't realize that I had it still plugged in, and I just started working on it. and then all of a sudden it just zapped. I still have a scar from it today. You guys probably can't see, but it like zapped my hand, and then my whole house went dark, and that whole wall that it was connected to, my TV was on the other side of it. Luckily, it didn't like destroy the TV or anything, but the whole wall, the electricity in the house immediately turned back on seconds later, but the wall electricity didn't function for like another 2 days. So,
Oh wow.
but then
Wow.
that came on too. So, and maybe Mike Camparelli can let us know down below what happened electronically there.
Yeah.
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 He could probably tell you, that's for sure.
Yeah. Because it was weird. Like for 2 days, just nothing, couldn't turn the TV on, and then all of a sudden, on a Wednesday, a couple days later, there she goes.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
scary though that you got the shock out of it. Could have been
Yeah,
worse,
dude,
I guess, but
it was
yeah.
a big one too, a big boy. I was like, wow, glad my wife isn't home. She would have been super concerned.
Yeah.
Keith, that's a pretty cool shirt you got on, man. The
Oh, yeah.
Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. It's
I'm
like an
assuming
American,
vintage. Oh
it's
yeah,
a
American Graffiti. That's cool.
American Gothic. Yeah, American Gothic.
Gothic,
This is
yeah.
a
Graffiti. That's a movie.
Yeah, Mojo Dojo Custom. They use like a vintage crew neck and then just print like custom stuff on it. So
That's
they're
cool.
They're over on District on Dibdit Mojo.
Yeah,
Dojo,
I like Mojo.
Yeah,
Mojo
yeah,
Dojo.
yeah.
I think that they're from a small town right outside of Columbus, and I've probably knocked on his door before, for sure, unless he's in an apartment. Just because I don't want to like tell everyone where he lives or whatever, but that was like my favorite area in Columbus, and I went to Columbus 3 years in a row. So I would go there and I would knock for like 15 days every year. So I'm sure I've knocked on his house before. Never, I don't remember him, but you know, it was possible that we had a quick conversation once.
That's funny. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
I've bought some cool stuff from him off District. Never anything custom, but some cool vintage shirts and stuff I've bought from him.
Well, that's where I met them. Originally, I found them on Whatnot. They would run these amazing shows where they would like sell like vintage screen prints. They have a huge stock of like of iron on pressed graphics, and then you would buy the graphic and then you would select a shirt from their racks, a blank, and then make your own clothing. So every Sunday night I was on there for like 6 months. My closet's like half full of that stuff. But yeah, they're creative people. They're fun.
Oh no, they run really good stuff. Not just shirts, but you know, bobbleheads and
everything pop culture. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he's got some cool stuff.
Is that a Cha-Ching King shirt that you're wearing, Shane?
No, this is a Seller Club podcast shirt. I won this on it does say Cha-Ching on it. But I won this on Instagram. So Tina with the Lake Exchange, one of my supporters of my channel, had tagged me in the Instagram post from Seller Club podcast. And I was like, what is this? Checked it out. And you tag somebody and you could win a gift box from Seller Club. And so I thanked Tina and then I tagged Corey. Well, I won and Corey won. So we both got like tons of eBay shipping supplies, this t-shirt, just some random things like this little eBay tape measure for clothing and
how cute.
The shipping supplies were awesome, right? It's poly bags and tissue paper and all this stuff. But yeah, so Seller Club podcast, I don't think there's a YouTube channel, but they're definitely on like Apple Music and everywhere you can listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd never heard of them before until Tina tagged me on their post. So that was pretty cool. And the shirt is very, very nice. Like it's heavy duty, hadn't shrunk. It's killer. Popping colors.
Dude, we need to get on getting this podcast onto Apple and Spotify and stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about that because I don't know if you guys know, but I've been making music on AI. And
we know. We know.
I'm having so much fun with it and I'm getting better at it. But I was seriously thinking I'm going to create a playlist on like Spotify and stuff of these songs I'm creating for the resellers, and I'll just, create some like album or whatever. But in researching that, I'm going to look and see what we got to do to get this podcast everywhere on audio because that's definitely something we want to do. But I figure
it's really simple. It's really
Yeah.
simple. I'm just super lazy and I don't want to do it. Even Spotify has their own in-house one. It's just called Spotify for Podcasters or something like that, and it'll shoot
Uh-huh.
it out to all of them. And Spotify, you can even do video now. So like I listen to a few podcasts on Spotify every day, and they upload it from their YouTube channel onto Spotify, and it has them in
Oh
studio
wow,
and stuff too.
Oh,
interesting.
that's cool. I didn't realize that was an option these
Yeah.
days. That's cool. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
so that's something I want to look into while I'm researching my own stuff. I thought I'd do that for the podcast as well.
Yeah.
Because eyeglasses and sunglasses are doing great during this podcast.
Oh really?
Well, that's
Couple
awesome.
couple
I
cha-chings
sold
over there.
I sold a
Yeah,
pair of jeans.
we got a $57 Prada eyeglasses. Someone just offered $50. That's an easy accept.
Yeah, for
Yep,
sure.
that's a good one.
And then I sold those Versace's right before the show, and then I've sold 2 Kate Spade eyeglasses on Poshmark during this. What is it? 35 minutes. So four eyeglasses in an hour. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Poshmark has been awesome. Like I've been really killing it on Poshmark. And then
That's killer.
Mercari has been a bit slower for me lately, but yesterday I had 5 sales on Mercari, so it's all just a crapshoot.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
never know when the Mercari gods are gonna kiss your forehead.
Etsy's been picking up a little bit for me now with like the start of baseball, where people start to think about a specific sport or team. So that those change in seasons or start of seasons help sales over there.
I just keep getting spam emails from
Uh,
Etsy. I'm so brand new over there. Every new listing, I get an email with somebody, bless you, telling me there's a problem with your listing. Click this link and fix
Put
it
in your
and all
social
this stuff.
security number.
Yeah. And of course I just ignore them because I know it's like hello dear and stuff like that is how they greet you.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I just ignore them, but that's all the attention I'm getting on Etsy so far, which I think I only got like 10 listings maybe, so it's something I got to keep working on. But yeah, it's just funny. Every new item I start getting emails from spammers or scammers.
Shane, one thing I'll say about Etsy, and I don't know, I've never experienced this on eBay, and you guys maybe you have. We can figure that out. But I have about once a month I get an email from Etsy that they remove one of my listings for an intellectual property violation. Like, and some of them are utterly ridiculous. Like the one it's most was most ridiculous. I had a Yale University pennant, like a vintage pennant from the 30s, and they apparently the Yale Lock Company had reported that as their intellectual property.
Oh
or
wow.
or I'm sure it's like a third party company that's just searching for those. That's I'm sure that's what it is. But there's no like Etsy has no like. Well, let's look at this. Let's see if they're right. Let's pull it down if this is a violation. No, they just pull it down automatically,
Gotcha.
which stinks. So I know there's Vero claims over on eBay. I don't know if there's.
And you still have to pay your 20 cents, right? Because you already
I'm sure
listed it.
Yeah. I usually when that happens, I take the images, put it over on eBay, and the heck with Etsy on that listing anymore, right? But does eBay ever do that to anyone? I know the Vero is sort of a different circumstance, or somewhat similar, but
I haven't had any issues. I did have, the high end companies like Louis Vuitton, they have kind of like a dust bag or whatever that all their stuff comes in to protect it from catching dust. I listed one of those, just a dust bag. And they don't sell for much. The sold comps for them were only like $15 to $20 depending on the size of the thing, but mine got taken down. Somebody, I guess Louis Vuitton claimed counterfeit. It wasn't, but it was like $15. I don't care. I didn't pay for it. I don't even remember where I got it. I think my wife's sister gave it to me or something like that. She's got money. But yeah, so I know it was legit, but I was like, it's a $15 thing. I'm not going to be upset, and lose my mind over it.
Yeah.
But I've never had anything like that happen other than that.
Well, speaking of things getting taken down, it reminded me of Bonanza, the king of taking stuff down. And looks like I have 3 sales that I need to ship out over there.
Nice.
Forgot.
Oh,
Yeah,
Keith, Keith, you have a pennant that I want to get from you. It's a vintage Purdue pennant.
Okay.
My brother-in-law's birthday's coming up. He's a big Purdue fan. That's where he's from, up there in Indiana.
Yeah, I probably have a couple. Is it on Etsy or eBay? Oh, there he is.
Did we lose you, Shane?
You maybe can't hear us.
Yeah, Shane's gone, but
So,
he'll get back.
well, yeah. So Bonanza pulls a lot of listings down.
Yeah, Bonanza, I get an email. So I cross list. Well, I mean, so on Bonanza, it's connected to your eBay store, and it'll just pull all your items every night at like 11:59 p.m. and then post them to Bonanza. And so I'm listing 20 to 25 items a day. So I usually get like 7 or 8 items pulled every week, almost once every day. And it'll
Wow.
just say like, "Oh, you're not allowed to list this Jolly Rancher lipstick." Like, okay.
Oh wow.
It's weird. But
Could,
yeah,
did,
Bonanza will just randomly take down really super random ones.
Huh.
did you guys lose me for a minute? I don't know what
Yeah.
happened.
Your
Yeah, we
video
My
is still
whole
there, but you're muted. But now you're
yeah,
back.
my whole screen went black. Like I thought my computer shut down on me or something. It just
There-
came back, and then I was muted, so I wasn't sure what happened.
yeah,
it's
you're
the
good.
AI. It's taking over your
Weird.
computer.
Yeah. And I've got it all turned off. But anyways, yeah, I want to get that Purdue pennant from you,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely, man.
For
Yeah.
his birthday's coming up.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a text and we'll figure out which one it is.
All right. Yeah, I searched your store because I figured if anybody's got any cool Purdue stuff, it's going to be Keith. So I just searched your store. That was the one thing that came up, Purdue. So
I picked up a Purdue crew neck on might have been on Dibdit Threads the other day too, because I figured Purdue's close to Chicago, stocking up on a bunch of Chicago stuff for that show.
yeah,
But yeah, I know I have a bunch of pennants.
cool.
So Keith, you said that you list things on eBay, and then you list separate things on Etsy that you
Yep.
don't list on eBay. But do you cross list your eBay items to other places or no?
I don't cross list at all. At one point I did slightly. I cross listed from Etsy or eBay to Depop, but I don't do it anymore. I probably should. I mean, back then when I was doing it, there was no like auto delist. That was a killer for me. I wasn't gonna, be able to remember it and delist the items on the other marketplaces. Yeah. Now that that's there as an option, I probably would.
Yeah, Shane, do you cross list a little bit, don't you?
I did. I used to try to sell on Mercari, but Mercari was the very first week. I had a bunch of vintage 80s New York Mets and New York Jets t-shirts. And the very first week I got on Mercari, this was almost a year and a half or so ago, 2 summers ago. Every one of those vintage Mets and Jets shirts sold the same week I listed them. I never sold another thing, and I was cross-listing every day with first it was list perfectly, and then the next year I was like, all right, I'm gonna give it another shot. And I went to Vindu this time because one of my reseller friends had a link, and I was like, I'll give it a shot, and try Mercari again, and not a single sale. And I'm cross listing every single day, like doing all the good things that people say you should be doing, and I was getting nothing. So I just stopped Mercari altogether. I've never tried anywhere else though. Poshmark, Depop, Vinted, or whatever it's called, and none of the other ones.
Yeah.
I probably should.
Poshmark, it's 20% fees, which it's actually like more than 20% fees sometimes. They change the fee structure over there quite often, but it's anywhere between like 18 and 25%. But so the fees are a little bit higher. But dude, like I said, Fridays and Sundays are awesome. Like it's the easiest platform to force a sale. You know what I mean? Like on eBay, if you have it, like on eBay one time I put my whole, this was very early on, I only had 800 items. I put my whole store on 40% off, and I got like an extra 2 sales that day. But like on Poshmark, especially on a Friday or Sunday, because it's 10% or more, if I did a 40% off my whole store on a Sunday, I would probably sell hundreds of items. Like,
oh wow,
it's nuts. Because this was about a year ago. I sold 87 items on Poshmark of everything, like clothes, eyeglasses, Game Boys, video games, just like everything. and I put it 20% off. Plus, Poshmark gave the discounted shipping, and it was just every 20 minutes of the day getting a sale was sweet.
I think
So
earlier in an earlier episode, was there something that you weren't allowed to sell over there that I think something got pulled down? Maybe it wasn't
Cameras.
Poshmark. Cameras, is that what it was?
that was on
Yeah.
Depop.
Depop.
Yeah,
Okay. So
Depop they
Poshmark's
don't
more
let you
open.
sell electronics. And they
Okay.
say anything with a cord. So it's even like hair curlers and curling irons and stuff too. I thought you could, but you can't because it has a cord. It's weird.
Okay. So Poshmark you can. That's good to know. Maybe I will
But
start
Poshmark,
looking at
yeah,
it.
Poshmark is dude. Poshmark has been really good with those Fridays and Sundays. It's I mean I don't sell as much as I do on eBay, but that day that I did 87, I probably sold more on Poshmark that week than eBay,
Oh
which
wow.
was sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
the
Jake,
20%
do
fees
you
are okay.
have? Sorry, do you have a invite code for Poshmark? Because I've never had a Poshmark account. So is there like a
Oh,
link that you can get credit for if I sign
yeah,
up?
I have a Posh. I think I get like a $10 credit to spend on Poshmark, and like I've sourced on Poshmark before too. So I'll send that over to you. But
Yeah, shoot it to me. I'll sign up and give it a shot.
well, and then I found through Page, the 1 Foot Flipper, this new software called Crosslist. It's just crosslist.com. It's awesome. I really like this software.
Yeah, I've heard
So
him talk about it a few times.
yeah, so
So
I'll
send me a link for that if you got that too.
yeah, I'm gonna put it in the link of this video, and I'm gonna start putting
Cool.
it on my future videos because I just set up an affiliate link with them today. But it's so fast. So I was paying my mom $13 an hour to cross list items on Flip to Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop, and she got like really fast at it. She's a like really optimized worker, kind of like I am, and she got really quick at it. But it was still taking her an hour for every 25-ish items. So I was paying her over $200 a month, and then I laid off my own mom because AI took over. Man, it's only like $24 a month, and it does her job in seconds. I mean, not seconds. It still takes like to do 20 to cross list it and to delist it when it sells. To delist it when it sells, it takes seconds, but cross listing to Mercari and Poshmark usually takes about 40 seconds per item. So
Okay. It's not bad.
it's pretty fast. It's nice. So
And
yeah.
does that one do the automatic delist?
No, but when something sells, you just click delist everywhere on it.
Okay.
Oh, cool. That's easy enough.
So if that's because like automatic delist, what you guys are talking about is like something will sell while you're driving your car, and they take care of it for you. That's what you
Yeah.
guys are talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Yep.
think it has that. But you just know what items you sell each day, and then you touch this little broom icon and it delists it everywhere.
Does that have like a phone app or is that just a website?
I think it says app.crosslist. I wonder if it does. Here, I honestly could have been sharing my screen the whole time. Let's do that. Take this off.
Yeah, their website says CrossList is an AI-powered cross-listing app that allows sellers to list quickly on marketplaces such as eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari.
Yeah. So like you just click import and get all of your eBay items onto it. We're not sponsored by them, but we should be. So you can just import all your items or whatever, and then once they're imported, I think I have a few pages of. Let's see. Oops. Looks like I accidentally deleted a product. That's fine. Let's see here. Oh no, I have almost everything. Okay, so right here, all of these are only on eBay. So you just bulk post Poshmark Mercari, and then boom, it goes to work for you. See, it's already cross-listed on Poshmark and Mercari. This one has some sort of issue, but they're pretty easy to resolve. So, yeah, pretty sweet.
Yeah, I do like the look of that because I mean the one I used before there was a lot of like manual things I had to like click and edit. So that one almost like it's pretty automatic. That seems
Yeah,
pretty
no,
sweet.
that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
I
I had it
take a look at
cross-listed in Depop, but they banned me again. So
that.
yeah, I signed up for the Depop again, and then they like realized that I used the same device, and so with the new email and social, they still blocked me, which is stupid, man. It's like, dude, Depop, not to be arrogant, but I can make you guys some good money. I can,
Yeah.
yeah, I sell my stuff.
And I'm sure there's a
Well,
ton
and
of
that was
scammers
like
over
your
there, right?
first time too, right? Like
Yeah.
they didn't give you a warning or anything. That's what kind of blows
Mm-hmm.
my mind. They're
That's
just
wild.
like, "Yeah, you're gone."
Yeah.
Like, dude, we didn't even talk about it first.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Depop, if you're
Oh, yeah.
listening.
It was a camera, right? It's not like you're selling weapons over there. It was a camera. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
that's pretty preposterous. They at least,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah, it was all my good old electronics.
yeah. Oh, by the way,
Electronics.
I do a whatnot show once a week on Monday nights with it's a raid train with Carrie, American Arbitrage, and Rod picking and punching,
Hmm.
and I kept finding myself comparing it to District, and when you're selling on District, and one of the better like unsung parts about selling on District for me is that little thing in the corner that shows you how much you sold in that show so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole time on Whatnot, I'm looking up in there. I'm like, how much did I sell? It doesn't tell you anything on Whatnot. It's like ruined me for Whatnot selling on District because it gives
Uh-huh.
you a good sense of like how you're doing. You need can move some better stuff if you want to get that number a little higher.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then also it can be a little self-deprecating when you look up and it's
yeah,
like, well, I've been going for 37 minutes and I've only made $19.
yeah,
Yeah.
double-edged sword for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, because I like to mentally give myself a goal, monetary goal for
yep,
each show.
Mhm.
I know if I've got stuff that's going to make a $200 show, a $500 show, or just $100 show. So I know if I'm selling, like last night, I wasn't selling like top of the line stuff. Like I had a couple of really good items in there that sold. Um, like that T-shirt you bought, Keith, was the best selling item, and I knew it would be. Um, but I'd put a goal of $100 on that show. I was like, if I can make $100 out of this, that would be awesome to me.
yeah.
So,
Mhm.
and I think I made like 151. So that
There you
was
go.
cool, you know.
Yeah.
But or somewhere around there. But usually I try to set a much higher goal than that. But I knew the stuff I had last night was gonna be. It needed the right buyers. You know, it was just I compiled a bunch of different things, and I said, well, I don't really have a theme behind this show. It's just going to be whatever I can grab, you know. So I wasn't expecting to do very well, but I mean, for an hour, $150 ain't bad, you know.
No,
Yeah.
not too
That's
Well,
shabby.
and that
more
doesn't
than I
include
made
the
9 to
shipping.
5.
That doesn't include
Right.
the shipping in your item too. So if you're making a little bit of money off shipping too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
But
Which is
you
also
and
something you can't do on Whatnot.
exactly. You and Anthony were telling me the other day though that you guys were getting washed on shipping your first few shows.
Certain people would buy you, for instance, if
Oh
if
yeah.
you bought something, you and Jose and Mandy, she lives in Oregon.
Oh, that's
And
even
then
worse.
I sold one thing, guys. I sold this vintage plush. It was Hooter from, I think I told you guys about it, but back in '86, Michael Jackson and George Lucas got together and made a little sci-fi movie, 17 minutes long. One of the main characters' name was Hooter, and I had the plush. I got it from Evan Flippy McFlipperson. And it's like a $80 plush on eBay. And I like to bring good deals over to District. So I sold this on First Class Treasures. To the only thing this person bought, this was like it's a large plush and it was stout. This thing was heavy for a
Yeah.
plush. And the only thing this person bought for me, and they lived in Puerto Rico.
Shoot, dude.
And let me tell you, medium $8 shipping was not enough to get that thing to Puerto Rico. So, but it works itself out because
yeah,
you can make money on most of the shipping, so it kind of evens itself out. So, like, I may lose $10 on a package that I ship to Jake because, let's say Jake orders like one of those big tanks. You know, he got that one big
Yep.
tank. If I ship that by itself and he didn't buy anything else, I'm definitely losing money on that. But I made $1 here, $1 there, $2 here on other packages, so it all kind of evens itself out. I feel like.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
That's what I
but
find
yeah,
too. It's, yeah.
I think I finally found the sweet spot. What works best for me. Um, I've talked to a lot of people who do sell on these live shows and district especially platforms. I mean, district especially because you can make a little bit of money on the shipping. People who live in the center of the country are doing way better than the rest of us that are like on the East Coast or the West Coast because of that factor that, hey, Mandy just bought something from me and she lives in Oregon. It was one item, small item, $6 shipping. It's not getting there for $6 from South Carolina. I don't care what you do. It's not getting
Well,
there.
I'm from Utah, so I'll charge $6 in shipping, and to get it to Mandy, it'll be like $4.18 because
Yeah.
she's only like 11-hour drive from me.
Yep.
So
And I don't mind it at all because, like I said, I do. It does kind of break even with the money you make on other stuff. So, but yeah. So I think I finally found what's been working for me to where I'm at least only breaking even. I'm not losing no matter what. So
all right, guys,
that's cool.
Yeah.
let's see what your opinion is on this bad boy. So I've got a Christmas Story Monopoly game from 2008, and it is sealed for $50, and someone is offering me 35. It does have a really good sell-through rate, but it is ultra seasonal. So what do you guys do
Yeah.
here?
I'd probably take it, but I understand. I mean, I assume it's not a quick seller this time of year, like you're saying. But
Yeah,
and I don't know. It depends what you have into it too. I guess.
That
I got it at the
that was gonna
bins,
be my
so
Oh, bands.
probably
Okay, so
probably
yeah.
a dollar forty.
I'd take it then.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing it. Let us know in the comments below. So that's 29.82% off. So 30% off. And that's
Yeah.
usually my threshold when I'm in like a pretty bad mood. That's like, oh, no one's getting anything for more than 30% off. Honestly, like, so when I send out offers, I send out offers every chance I can get. I usually
Mhm.
wake up and I can send out like 12 to 20. And then around lunch, I can send out another 10. And then right before going to sleep, I can send out another 12 to 20. And I actually send out 20% offers. And I've only been doing that for like the last month. And my sales on sent out offers has only increased by 1.5%,
Oh wow.
as
Wow.
opposed to me sending out 15% offers. So I'm going to give it a little bit longer, but I guess what I'm learning is as long as it's not 5%, like the percentage, it seems like in these numbers that I'm testing doesn't really matter. People just want to watch it for reasons to buy it or not to buy it. So really any offer above 10% usually gets people moving. But I've noticed that the 20% offer doesn't get them moving faster than a 15 or a 10 would, which is
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there'll be a big difference in that kind of offer.
Yeah.
I usually send out 10% and um I was wondering if I shouldn't because I don't get a whole lot of trigger pulls at 10%. Uh for instance, yesterday I think it was, I sent out probably 20 offers at
Mhm.
10% and I got one trigger pull and they bought the item.
That's
And matter
that's
of fact,
honestly probably pretty standard.
it was the two ink packs that I showed you on your Facebook in your Facebook group for First Class Treasures.
Yeah.
Those somebody bought them. I had them listed for 35. I sent 10% off, which was like $31 and some change, and they bought it. But yeah, so I wondered. I've only ever done 10%. I wondered if I shouldn't move up to 15 or 20 when I'm sending offers out, just to see if things will start moving a little more. But doesn't sound like
Yeah.
with your experiment that it
Well,
really
so I
matters a
did
whole
see an
lot.
increase from 10 to 15, but I haven't seen an increase from 15 to 20. So I feel like
Okay.
15 is kind of the sweet spot.
All
Shane,
right. Yeah. Then
if you
maybe
had
I'll
one,
start doing that.
I've only ever done 10% as well. Sometimes even 5%, depending on the item, but usually it's
Mm-hmm.
10%. Do you guys have like allow counter offers clicked
Yeah.
on all those? Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
they
I don't always turn offers on my items. A lot of them I
Okay.
do. A lot of them I don't. But I do have allow counter offers on. So whenever I send, because I want to give them a chance to come back, and as long as they're not lowballing me, we're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One
no,
thing I
I'll
realized,
send
like,
out 15 or 20% offers, and then if someone comes back with anything under 30% off, I accept it.
okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
One thing I realized, I always, I don't know if you guys do this, but when I have my regular listing, I'll have like, I always set my high and low on the offers that I'll see,
Mm-hmm.
or offers that I'll automatically accept. But when you do that, when you allow counter offers on the offers you send out, there's like those numbers don't matter at all. You'll get like
Yeah.
those
You'll get the
$1
dollar.
counter offers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or you'll list something for 25, send out an offer for 18 that they'll accept, but then decline it, and then send you 12, and then 10, and then buy it for 18.
Yeah.
Like I thought
Makes
for
so much-
sure, once they did the 12, I'm like, okay, I'll just decline this. And then when they came back with 10, I'm like, oh, 0% chance that they're buying. But I guess there was a 1% chance that they were buying.
it'd be cool for eBay too. On that note, like that was not on eBay, right? That was on
That was on
Poshmark.
Poshmark. Yeah.
Yeah, like for eBay, if when you send an offer out, they counter you, you counter them. As a seller, you have no idea where those numbers were previously, other than maybe going through your email or your memory. So I've often like sent like a lower or a higher offer that I sent before by accident, and you get some angry responses to that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, you'll have something for $30, and you'll send a 10% offer, making it 27, and then they'll counter with 20, but then you'll counter back with 28. They'll be like,
Yeah.
Why'd you increase it by $1?
Yeah, exactly. I wish eBay would show the seller what those numbers are, because I'm not trying to piss anyone off by, you can't remember when you have thousands of items listed. You can't remember every offer you sent out, right? So,
right.
Yeah.
Dude, and I felt like the majority of your items are collectors items, and I feel like collectors are some angry people, man. Like so,
they can be.
I feel like you get a lot more messages on things like this than I do. So, for example, I talked about it on the last podcast that I was here for. I bought some Johan model cars from Scott.
Yep.
Rad Picker. Check out his YouTube channel if you guys haven't yet. He says he's about to start putting out long form content. They just paid for the Monopoly game, but
nice.
it's plus shipping too, by the way. So yeah, definitely good sell there. But so my wife lists almost everything, and she listed one that she saw comps for a 1961 Plymouth, but she listed it as a 56. And then this guy sent me a message. He's like, "Hey, idiot! This is a 1956. The 61 doesn't even look like anything close to this one." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, collectors, man! You guys are angry.
Yeah.
Some angry people."
Hey, but sometimes you get some cool ones. So I recently just got another package in the mail from Keith, from First Class Treasures. This one was full of patches and buttons and stuff, and pin it. And I listed and sold one of the patches within an hour. I probably got $1 into it, maybe $2, because I don't remember what I paid for this lot of patches. But this one sold for $45 within an hour of listing it. And the guy reached out, and I sent Keith the message, but he reached out today, and he's like, "Man, I'm also looking for whatever this thing was. It's some kind of stadium giveaway thing, I think." But I was like, you know what? I'm going to send it to the same guy I bought the patch from. I'm going to send this message to him, and hopefully he'll know what you're talking about and can look for it and whatever. And that guy was like super thankful. I gave him your store, sent him a link to your store. So I was like, look, man, this dude's a big sports guy. He's probably got tons of stuff that you might be interested in. So I sent him your way, told him you were going to keep your eyes open for whatever that thing was he was looking for. So
yeah,
some of the collectors are pretty cool, and they,
yeah.
They're
Oh no, I don't
awesome
want to put
like
all
that.
collectors in a box, but
Yeah,
so like
all of you suck.
but every once in a while I'll list a DVD VCR combo player, and it's an SLV D381P, but I'll list it as an SLV Z219, and they're like, "Oh, hey, just so you know, this is a different model." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." You know?
Yeah.
But if you list a 96, if you list a 61 instead of a 56 Plymouth, look out.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
That's funny.
That's fun.
Poor
Yeah.
Brindley.
Their life is dedicated to knowing those detailed differences. Like I'm the Eagles collector, and I could tell you everything about each little bobblehead from the '60s. But I wouldn't be angry about it if you were wrong. I might help you out and correct you. But
Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't call you an idiot.
Keith, I'm very curious. You don't have to tell me here, but I want to know what you gave Anthony for that Eagles jacket. Because he sent me a picture of it, and I was like, "Dude, you got to send that to Keith." He's like, "Oh, I already did."
Yeah, I don't mind saying it myself. I didn't know if he cared. If he doesn't care, I'll share it here. But I paid $300 on it. I think it's
Wow.
yeah. So it's an expensive coat. I actually got it today, right when I walked in. I didn't even open the package yet. So if it fits me, I'm gonna keep it. It's like a heavy triple goose down '90s parka.
Yeah, my first words were, I was like, "Dude, that's Kelly Green. Send a photo to Keith. He'll probably
Yeah,
want it from
absolutely.
you."
Yeah.
And he said, "I already did." And then he showed me comps. I was like, "Holy cow, that's a
Yeah.
nice find, dude."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, so what were the comps?
They're
Around like 400, 500?
250 to like 600, depending on the size.
Yeah.
There's different variations of it. So 300 was definitely a good deal as a buyer. Even if if it doesn't fit me, if I decide to flip it, I'll make a little bit on it. But I definitely want to keep it. I'm hoping it fits me, or I'll keep it for my son. But I'm also thankful we're an hour and 6 minutes in. My wife's not going to see what I paid for that coat.
Exactly.
She's not making an hour in.
But Brindley won't see that someone called me an idiot because she listed a car incorrectly.
Yeah.
my wife won't see the introductions at the beginning, so she doesn't watch any of us. She likes to watch Dave's cooking channel.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so people always, and I mean, I'm a creator. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You know, there's always going to be people that love you and hate you. A lot of people get like super offended when I talk about sales as they come in live, but it creates really good discussion. So
Yeah.
I just sold another Michael Kors watch for $44.87 plus shipping. This is one that I had listed for 96 days, and I delisted it, marked it down $5. So it was $49.87. I marked it down to $44.87. Relisted it this morning, and now about 7 hours later, it sold full price. So
Nice.
there's a huge debate and divide, and there's like camps set up on each side about, oh, if you delist relist you're an idiot, and oh no, delist relist, it gives fresh life to your listings. And I don't know, it works, man. I do this to about 40 to 50 listings every day. I just select the 50 oldest, I delist them, make pricing changes, and relist them. And I have found that it does work better. And anecdotally, wow, that's a hard word, for myself. But it works better doing that than to just mark things down 15 or 25%.
Yeah, I gotta start doing it. I haven't went down that path, and I have threw a couple 87s in my price. You know, my
There you go.
I forget each. I don't remember each time, but I'm trying to work in some 87 instead of 99.
Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about that, so a lot of people, I'm an educational channel on eBay. I mean, at least I used to be. My YouTube channel is, man, I just need to put up some more videos. But anyway, so people always compare me to Daily Refinement and Tech and Sports, right? And so in the early days, when I would talk about, oh yeah, I list everything at 87 cents, they're like, oh, you just stole that from Tech and Sports because he lists everything at 1888 and you just wanted to beat him by a penny. I'm like, oh, honestly, had no idea that he marked everything at 88, but that's funny. And then I went to his eBay and it's like, oh, 2488, 1888, 2788. And then there's mine, 2487.
That's funny. Yeah. Had nothing to do with each other, but
No.
people are always going to think whatever they want to think anyway. So
Yeah.
that's just funny.
Speaking of educational stuff, we should maybe talk about the members only videos. The first one being like a free one we put out for everyone, but we're going to put those out every couple of weeks, right, guys? As far as some bolo videos, trying to impart our own knowledge, our own niches of knowledge, which we all have some specialized knowledge on stuff. So I think it'll help people out there when you're hunting at yard sales or flea markets or wherever you do your picking.
And also, if you sign up to be a member, we will read your name on the podcast. So it's a tax write-off.
There you go.
Also, if you have a YouTube channel or you live sell or you just want to be a part of this community and hear your name read every week, you can sign up as any level member. So I'll go ahead and read those. We now have 5 members. Congratulations. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. And the members are, I'm trying to find their names. Uh-oh. Oh, here we go. Oh, just kidding. We got a new one today.
Oh, nice.
Caleb Sells, awesome YouTube channel. You guys should check them out. So,
Caleb.
I love Caleb. He was actually the last member on this podcast before you two entered. And he's a really good guy. So it's funny because we were both everything sellers, and I pivoted out of clothing, and he pivoted away from everything into clothing. So we started chatting online. We both had the same amount of items in our stores, and we were selling jackets and Sony Walkmans and golf clubs and everything. And then he transitioned out of an everything store into a clothing store, and I at one point had 0 clothing listings because I transitioned out of clothing. And I've got a closet full of clothing again, and I'm thinking about just running it all on First Class Treasures and being done. I hate clothing. But anyway, check out Caleb Sells. We also have a member here named Vintage Sport Flips.
Thank you.
Keith.
I still haven't signed up.
He's paying $2.99 a month to give about 30% of that to YouTube, and then 40% to me and 40% to Shane. So
yeah, that's the best investment.
We also have J37 Shop, and another YouTube channel that just started is Sarah Sells Smalls. They're it's a husband and wife team. They're doing a lot. They're going to start doing some more YouTube content, and they just reached out to me and said that they're possibly thinking about doing live sales. So definitely subscribe and follow them. We also have Archie Biscuit Butt, our good friend.
Good old Archie.
He's been on the podcast before, and we'll definitely have him on with the 2 of you as well. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and Sarah Sells Smalls, big supporter over on Facebook. I know she follows a lot of resellers over there. So good to see her name on there.
She's always in Cat and Rod's chats and all that good stuff as well.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to sign up. I need to sign up myself because I want to be able to watch the content behind the scenes as well, you know.
Well, that's why I did it. I want to learn from your guys' videos too. So I mean, I didn't need to sign up for my own videos that I put out, but your stuff I wanted to see. So
yeah.
Let's see. And for me to be able to afford First Class Treasures membership, I'm probably going to have to drop from trash to cash.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I was.
I'm just kidding.
I was wealthy as a Kevin for, I think, 7 months, and then I actually just dropped off last month. So
I was a member of their Patreon at the whatever the $33.33 tier
that's
was.
What I was.
And it was because Carrie did those motivationals, right?
Oh,
and
awesome.
4 months went by without him doing it, and I was like, "What the heck am I paying all this money for? He's not even doing it." So I stopped. And then whenever they opened up their actual channel memberships, I rejoined over there so I could watch the secret episodes or whatever they call them, which are quite enjoyable if you guys haven't ever seen them. It's just Carrie and Dave, you know, but without Kevin. But they're pretty good, so I enjoy it for $10 a month. That's what I'm watching over there. But yeah, I don't know if I can afford it anymore. I gotta sign up for this one.
We should. I mean, maybe we make a tier for Shane to make an AI music video about the.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Member. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
AI music video of the month.
I'm having so much fun with that, man. Yeah. I'm seriously. I've already got a couple videos behind the scenes on my YouTube channel. I could send you guys links. You know, whoever has a link can watch it, but it's not public. But I did one for Alicia Ink Picker, Buck Mountain Barn, Chris, And who's the other one? Oh, Steve and Donna over at Happy Heart Treasures. That's the one of the best ones. They received a comment on one of their videos. They buy a lot of storage units, and one of the comments on their video, one of their recent videos, said, "Steve's always so, negative, and nothing's ever good enough for him. And Donna's so pleasant and happy." And I was like, "Oh, this is a song right here." So I
Uh-huh.
made a song for those guys, and they love it. They shared it with their kids. Their kids love it. It's full of curse words. I'll put that out there. But it had to be because Steve's so grumpy.
That's
So,
funny.
but yeah, it's hilarious. So I've already got some stuff behind the scenes on my channel. It's not public because I don't know what route I'm going to take with this kind of stuff, but it's definitely stuff I want to get up on Spotify and stuff. That way, if you guys are out, sourcing or whatever, and you got your headphones in, you can listen to some reseller nonsense on Spotify, some music. But that's a good idea for a tier.
Yeah.
Get your very own Sarah Sell Smalls song.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll have to start it. $10 tier. We already have 3 people that have to sign up because they already got it for free. So.
That's right.
Well, in other news that people really care about, so the NBA draft lottery, it's all the teams that suck aren't guaranteed a good pick because it's all up to chance. They put this machine that has all of the team logos on some ping pong balls, and they shoot up, and then they pick, and the first 4 balls that they pick get the first 4 picks. And there's actually rumors, Keith. I don't know if you'll like this, but so if there's a chance that the Jazz fall to like the 6th pick, and there's a chance that the 76ers can jump to like the 2nd or 3rd pick. If they get the first pick, they're not going to do this. They're just going to get Cooper Flag and run home. But there's rumors that if they got the 2nd pick, they would draft either Dylan Harper or Ace Bailey and then trade that pick to the Jazz for the 6th pick and also swap Lowry Markkanen and Paul George. And we would just eat Paul George's terrible contract, get our franchise player, and then you guys get probably the best third option in the NBA. So
I like it. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Paul George, I knew that was a rough signing in the offseason to begin with.
Oof.
That was
Yeah.
destined to fail. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, podcast
like
P, man.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a disaster. I mean, I still love Embiid. I know his health is, he's not going to have a long career much. He might be done. I don't even know. But,
Yeah.
he was one of the more electrifying players when he was at his prime, and that was a very short prime, though, unfortunately.
Dude,
I have no idea who you guys are talking about.
What
Surprise.
you know a little bit more about like baseball and stuff though, don't you, Shane?
Yeah, I've just never got into basketball from when I was a kid. Like I grew up playing baseball, and then my grandfather. So I was the first. My grandparents had $5. I was the first boy born into the family, and so my granddad and I hung out all the time. My dad, not to get too personal, my dad was in prison my entire life.
Uh-huh.
So I spent a lot of time with my granddad, and he was a
Fishing?
big time football.
Baseball?
Yeah, well, they lived on Lake Murray here in Lexington, South Carolina.
Oh,
So
yes.
we were always fishing, cutting the grass together. I had a beer, he had a beer. It was back in them days, But yeah, I very
How old were you when you
very
had your
young,
first beer with Grandpa?
probably like 4 or 5 years old, I bet.
Are you serious?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my
my
God.
But I remember riding lawnmower with him back in the day, and these were the old ones that just had the steering wheel shaft was like 4 feet long coming out of the floorboard. But I remember sitting on his lap cutting grass with a beer can in my hand, But yeah, my point is he watched a lot of football. He was a big Redskins fan back then.
Mhm.
And back then Carolina's, we didn't have a team, so he was a Redskins fan. I was a Colts fan. I to this day I don't know why I was a Colts fan. That was the team I chose. And I followed
Probably
Frank
Peyton
Thomas. Well, it was long before then.
Way
So
before then too. No.
yeah, I did like Peyton Manning, even though he whooped up on the Gamecocks every year. He was at Tennessee. But But yeah, so because of my grandfather, I enjoyed football a lot because that was his sport he liked to watch. I grew up playing baseball, so I liked baseball, and I just never got into basketball. I did. It wasn't a part of my life in any kind of form, so
Mhm.
never got into it.
What would you
I
play
know
in high
I
school?
know all the big names. I I was catcher.
Catcher, nice.
Hey,
Yeah.
So
you play
you have
catcher.
no
I could see
knees.
that.
Your knees are gone.
Oh, dude, I've had so many doctor visits for what's it called? What's that my gosh, I can't think of it. There's a there's a nerve that runs and it's very, very painful, and I cannot
Like
think of what it's called.
sciatica or
Sciatica, yeah,
okay.
sciatica, and I've been getting that since I was 24, and the doctors tell me it's from playing catcher in
Mhm.
baseball for like 13 years, from just being down in that position. But not only that, you can imagine the crazy positions we would have to be in working on cell phone towers, climbing up there,
Yeah.
the positions you have to be in because you're tied off and you're hanging off the steel and you got to work with both of your hands. So you're twisting and turning and yeah, so
Yeah.
my body's been through some stuff, you know. But yeah, I played catcher for like 13 years. I did try outfield and it was boring to me. So I went back under behind the home plate. There's a lot of action
You're
there.
part of every play,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah,
played
That's awesome.
I played second and third. I played second growing up, and then third in high school were
nice.
my spots. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I played
I
shortstop in middle school because I was like athletic until I was 13, and then everyone passed me. So
yeah,
I was like I got the presidential fitness award every year in elementary school. I ran the fastest mile, could do the most pull-ups and stuff, and I thought I was a hot shot. And then all of a sudden I made it to eighth grade, and all of my friends that I was faster and stronger than were faster and stronger than me. I'm like, wow, okay. So I couldn't play
Yeah.
shortstop anymore because
Yeah.
couldn't run laterally as fast as the other guys.
Yeah.
yeah. They actually drafted like even in little league they were drafting players here. So you had tryouts and all that stuff. And I was first pick every year as a catcher.
Nice.
Like I was the
Nice.
best catcher in all of our area. So it was awesome. But I was stupid and chose not to choose that path or try to choose that path and started getting into making bad decisions. I'll say that way. And didn't pursue college or anything with that. And I always think what could have been, had I chose a different path and actually followed through with baseball and went to school, you know, done all that, could I be
Could have played cattle.
playing for the yeah, could have been playing for the leagues, big leagues at some point. You never know, right?
Yeah.
That's one of those things you're like,
Yeah.
man, what if? But one bad decision can change your whole life.
What if
Yeah.
you never started reselling?
Yeah, I'd still be plugging away behind
I
some
mean,
desk.
yeah, now that you got laid off from your other job, I wonder what you would be doing if you never found reselling.
I would definitely be doing the same thing. I mean, that's all I know, right? So
Yeah.
I started when I was 18 building cell phone towers, and I did that for 26 years. And then I transferred to same company, transferred to a different office after 26 years, and same industry, but instead of towers up in the air, it was all underground fiber. So same industry, different area, but I would have definitely pursued staying in that industry somehow. I don't know what if I would have gone back to the tower side. I ain't climbing anymore. Can't do it. I'm old, fat, ain't happening. But the underground fiber, and management and all that stuff, which is what I've been doing for the last 6 years, was managing. So that's definitely where I would be. The problem with that is a lot of those companies you have to travel, and that's the
Mhm.
one thing that I got sick of. Like after 18 years, I found a company that allowed me to be home, and I didn't have to travel anymore. So that would have been the tough part is knowing that I'm more than likely going to have to get back on the road and travel full time because
Mhm.
after 6 years of not having to do it, you don't want to go back to that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I never did any of that traveling for work like you both did for long periods of time. It sounds like in the past, and I
Yeah.
never experienced that. But I've never been out of my area for more than like 10 days at a time
Oh,
in my life.
I'm grateful for it. Like I got to
Yeah,
see a lot of things a lot of people have never seen and will
sure.
never see. You know, speaking of Chicago, like uh the the Valentine's massacre, you know, was a big historic event that took place there, and you can go see the areas and read the stories and stuff, and that's a lot of people don't get to do that kind of stuff.
Oh
Like
yeah,
you know, I got to do all kinds of cool stuff that I wouldn't have done had I just been working landscaping or something else, you know, locally. I've been to Mount Rushmore a few times. I've lived in 8 different states and I've been to 47. So like
Not Utah.
work, yeah, Utah's the one. I think I mentioned this the other day or a couple weeks ago. Utah's the one state west of like New England that I've never been to. So besides, like, I haven't been to Hawaii and Alaska, but Alaska's coming soon. I'm planning a cruise.
Oh,
oh
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's like my
Alaskan
dream
cruises are sweet.
vacation. I want to go to Alaska very badly because I'm a
Yeah.
big outdoor guy. So,
Well, definitely do the excursions where they take you out on ferries and you can catch 7-foot fish, dude. So sweet.
yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
that's nice. Well, gentlemen, we've been going for just under an hour and a half. You guys
Yeah.
got anything else to say?
Not really. I think we've covered everything other than self promotions and stuff we normally do at the end. Do you guys got any live shows coming up?
I'm part of the Dibdit card Ray Train next Wednesday, and then Dibdit Threads has a great Ray Train on Thursday, April 3rd. I'm trying to think when this comes out. Yeah, this will be it before that. So I'm giving away an awesome T-shirt on my Thread show. It's like $150 liquid blue all over print tiger shirt that
Nice.
I would have kept it if it was my size. It's way too big. It's a 2XL, but I'm gonna give that away over there in that show. They're the only two. I'm sure I'm gonna schedule more once I get through my taxes. I'm really neck deep in that
Yeah,
stuff right now.
Oh,
Once
I
I get
got to
through
do
that,
mine too.
yeah. Once I get through that, I'm gonna attack some live streaming again.
dude.
Yeah,
Good old taxes.
yeah,
Yep, I
yeah.
gotta. I think I'm gonna try to get mine. I got a little bit to finish compiling tonight, and I think I'm gonna go tomorrow and see my CPA. So
Nice.
hopefully, I'll be done tomorrow with it, and I can not stress over it. Not that I've been stressing, but not stress over it anymore. But I did my live show last night on First Class Treasures. I don't have anything else scheduled. I need to get another show scheduled. I may do one this weekend. I know um the crookedspine.com, Corey, when he gets back from Planes to Profit, which they're at this, you know, starting
Hmm.
today being Thursday, when they get back, he wants to do a live show over on the Crooked Spine. So I'm thinking about trying to put together a small raid train for that.
Oh,
That's
cool.
another really great guy in the community right there. It's Corey.
Yeah, Corey's awesome.
Both of them over there at Grams and Pops.
Man, she gives me hell though.
Yeah, I bet.
She and I are a lot alike. We don't hold our tongues.
Yeah. Well, nice.
But
Well, I know a lot of you guys haven't followed my JRide Picks account here on YouTube yet. I haven't posted a ton over there either. But I actually just bought a $1,000 box of goodies from Keith over here,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be opening that up on a video. I'm also gonna start doing some junk drawer opening videos on that channel. I think there's a lot of people super interested in those. Plus, it's
Cool.
gonna drive a lot of traffic over to First Class Treasures because those people that are collecting and watching those videos can head over there. So, but yeah, not super anything to announce or plug, but
that's
should be a fun
funny
week.
that you mentioned you bought $1,000 box from Keith. I'm very interested to watch this video, by the way.
Oh, that's gonna be sweet.
But it's funny because I was literally thinking the other day, I ought to just send Keith like $1,000 and say, surprise me, dude, because he's got great stuff. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and he knows what I've been buying from him. So I think he'd know what to send, what kind of stuff to send. But that's
Yeah.
funny that you mentioned I got $1,000 box from Keith because I was literally just the other day thinking I just need to send the dude some money and
Yeah.
have him curate me a box.
That's exactly happening. It's $1,000 value. We worked out a
yeah.
deal where he's going to have a profit margin in it. But yeah, hit me up, Shane. We'll figure that out. And I think I know what
Yeah,
you like. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's cool.
Well, sweet. Violet and CW are live on First Class Treasures right now, so that's where I'm heading. But
Oh,
awesome.
yeah, I'm gonna head
Yeah.
over there too.
sweet. Well, we'll see
Cool.
you guys in a week. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Yep.
guys.
Have a great one, guys.
Peace.
Bye. This